These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Mark Z via PDK article quote, Kurdistan Natural Resources, we have fulfilled our oil commitments and are awaiting Baghdad's signatures. Mark Z says they need that final signature so they can start exporting oil. I believe they've now signed off, and most of the HCL have been signed off. I was told shortly after the entire HCL is passed, we would go. All right, Claire article quote, the Federal Council of Ministers votes on the tripartite agreement with Kurdistan and oil companies and approves the disbursement of salaries. Quote, the Iraqi Council of Ministers, headed by Mohammed Shal Sudani, held a meeting on Tuesday and voted by a majority of those present to ratify the tripartite agreement between the Kurdistan region, the federal government, and the region's oil extraction companies, a Kurdistan 24 correspondent in Baghdad reported. Moving on to Frank 26 question, once the 3 zeros are dropped, will their currency be at 114? Frank says it would be at $1, but there's talk it may come out at a float just a little over $1 because they're not going to be pegged to the American dollar. All right, Pimpy says, I'm crossing my fingers for it to happen the way we all hope it happens, and they leave the zeros on there, and we walk away with a pretty good payday. Either way, I make money if they delete the zeros or don't. I'm in the same boat as you guys, trying to get the same destination. Walking stick says capitalization is what Iraq is seeking. It's going down against the dollar, and that is the goal in order to add purchasing power to the Iraqi dinar. Remember, when the time comes for a new exchange rate, it's a simple flip of the switch because it's now digital. All right, Militiaman says the exchange regulation, there's a lot of process involved in making sure there's no ghost employees, there's no corruption, there's not fraud, all that stuff. We're at the stage where I believe completing all those procedures, in other words, they're gearing up for an event. All right, Claire article quote, the Federation of Chambers of Commerce announced on Tuesday that the Iraqi-Australian talks are underway to support Iraq's efforts to join the World Trade Organization, and these relations will contribute to supporting Iraq's efforts to join the World Trade Organization. And lastly, Frank 26, remember I said, unfortunately, 4 years we had Biden in the White House, and he was just not mentally capable of being our president. Frank says we may ask the question, why didn't we have the new exchange rate in those 4 years? It's because of who was sitting in the White House. We need the reinstatement. Iraq needs the reinstatement, but what we needed was a president.